Hey friends and fam, welcome back to another Onmyoji video. Today we're going to be talking about supports. Now, I have done a couple of videos about this before, but I didn't go into very much detail about it, and there's been a couple of questions and concerns and whatnot, so hopefully I can go a little more into detail about everything. So hope you enjoy the video, and let's get started. Awesome. So I can't say this enough. I feel like I say this on a daily basis, but you gotta love your supports to be able to pass a lot of content. They really need the defensive padding to allow your DPS to do what they need to do, which is deal damage. But how do we go about doing that? I'm going to show you guys on both my main account and my Smurf what kind of stats and souls and in-depth kind of setup for your supports, so that you don't get stuck on like stage 7 where it's actually great. My ult account I need to work on my supports, but I'm lacking gold, so I'm just waiting a little bit. She's tired. We had a lot of fun today. She just flopped over, I saw on the camera. But my ult account's kind of like at the same spot that maybe a lot of you guys find yourselves, where you're having a hard time getting past like stage soul 7. That's where I've gotten up to on there. So we're going to start off with my ult account first, actually. Now, when I'm talking about supports, I'm talking about your Bunny and your Zash. You need both of these Shiki to do any sort of gameplay. I mean, you just won't get to be able to do much without them. Let me go ahead and... I forgot about this. There we go. So let me pull this up real fast, right? Now, here's your typical, like, low-level setup in a sense. You know, I have my AoE, single target, and Bunny, Zash. Now these two are the ones that we're going to be talking about today. Let's go ahead and start off with the Bunny first. You're going to want Fortune Cat on him. Reason being is you want him to be able to supply like what are they called again? Orbs to the rest of your team. But if you don't have these souls, you can actually farm them from the Explore section. So if you hop over to Explore, I actually can't remember which one it is, but one of these levels over here give you Fortune Cat, and I don't think it's that high up. I think Wiki would be able to tell you guys without me having to click through all of them, but we'll do it anyways. So even at a pretty low level, I think it's around 30 or lower, maybe it's 32 or lower, but I know that you can farm these yourself. Oh, before we get too far into souls, you guys also need to evo them. Both of them need to be evolved. Their evolution skills are extremely important. Where am I going? Oops. Friends, there we go. Both of these guys need to be evolved to be useful to your team and to yourself, and you won't be able to progress much farther without them. So when it comes to Bunny, first things first is you're going to need a speed on slot 2. It doesn't matter what soul it is. It doesn't matter whether you have matching souls or not. Throw speed on here, level it a little, just enough to be able to get you to go first on most soul stages you're running. Now the rest of your souls that you're going to want is Fortune Cat. If you can get defense on 6 and 4, go ahead and do that. If you can't get defense and you're lacking the souls, I mean, this is a great example. This is like a pretty ghetto rigged Bunny that still works decently well. If you're lacking the souls, just go ahead and put whatever you can into 2 and 6, but once you can get defense, you definitely want to do that. Be sure not to level the attack ones, because you're going to swap them out eventually, so avoid wasting gold on that. You are going to want to level your defense. Now, I don't have my defense leveled on here, only because I lack a lot of gold on this account. Because I'm level suppressing, I'm not doing a lot of gameplay other than souls, and I don't really have much gold income. But I guarantee you, my next two steps are going to be working on my bunny and working on my Zash. So if you can also get them to grade 4, that'll give you a lot of survivability. And reason why you need survivability on both of these characters is because when you're doing soul stages, you're most likely not going to kill the boss in one hit, the final boss. So you need both your bunny and your Zash to be able to tank one AoE from Orochi. I'm not sure how to say his name, but the giant snake guy. So you need both your supports to be able to tank one hit, so that your Semi can go first as well and put up his supports, so that the boss doesn't kill the rest of your team. Speed order is extremely important in PvE, so you're gonna have to try and make sure that your speed is increased as well. For your supports, I also wouldn't recommend leveling your first one until you get a good soul that you want to keep on there, and then it can be your final priority. But both defense and HP, if they're decently, like, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't level this because it's a grade 1 soul. But if this was a matching set to Claws, or if this was a Fortune Cat, I would probably get it up to 9. I mean, 9 is good enough for all your support souls, depending on your level. If you're level 44, you're 45, you're going to want it to be a little higher. So just to go over this all real quick, you need your supports, you have to give them love, you have to give them attention. You're going to want speed on slot 2, defense, if you can, and if you can't, put in whatever. And Fortune Cat on bunny. Having speed on here too is going to help you on your PvP and realm raids, so it's extremely important. Now, Zash is the one that I see a lot of people mess up on as well. I see Zashes with like support souls, defensive souls and whatnot. You're going to want to try and get Azure Basin on her. If you can't, I mean, I'm telling you, on my main account, I didn't get Azure Basin on her until I was level 55. I just used Fortune Cat. It worked fine. But the important thing about Zashiki that I want to mention is that you need to have speed on slot 2. It is just important that your Zashiki goes after the first or second DPS. Not having her go in the correct speed order really reduces the amount of damage your team can deal. You want all 3 of your DPS to be doing... What's wrong? You want all 3 of your DPS to be doing... using their ultimate skills, and to have that happen, you need her to be the correct speed. So you can easily tell, you know, like, you can speed tune for your own team pretty easily, and you can probably tell within the first run whether you need to increase her speed or not. I found the easiest way to speed tune her is to have a couple of speed souls that are leveled to different levels, and swapping them out according to what I need them to be. It's not hard to find these, especially lower level ones, you know, and they work great. Just don't max it. For her as well, you're going to want defense and defense, whatever you can. Now, it's preferable to get both defense because she uses her own HP to give your team orbs. So making sure that you have defense instead of HP is going to be great. But if you don't have the souls yet, then don't worry about it. They'll be coming eventually. That's pretty cool. Seems like they're having fun. So I'm also going to be leveling her as well. You need to make sure she survives the AoE attack from Orochi. Hopefully that goes over kind of what you need to do pretty clearly. I really hope I see you guys kind of loving your supports. You won't be able to progress without the correct stats on them, and you're going to have a hard time doing any kind of gameplay without the correct stats on them. So let's hop over to my supports real quick and take a look at what they're going to be looking like near the end. So here's my Zash. I got her to grade 5 because I want the extra defense stats. So her speed is 172 only because I run double pull on a lot of PvP and PvE content. But for example, when I want to swap this out, I'm pretty sure I have something else I can use for it. Let me see and go ahead and remove it and see what my speed is without it. Nice. See, this puts me at 123. So I can swap that soul out for anything. So for example, if we were going to do soul 10, me and you, about to hit up soul 10 and my Zash was going at the wrong time, I'd be able to just put in any soul into here. Just throw in one of these. There we go. Get the 2-set bonus. I could even level this if I really wanted to. And we'd be good to go without much effort or time wasted. Now I have Azure Basin for the 4-set bonus. I actually thought I leveled these. I'm surprised I didn't, but I definitely will be maxing them. And I'll probably try and swap this out for a defense soul as well. I haven't really paid much attention to Zash in a while. I'm pretty stuck rolling for speed substats recently. It's been a pain and very depressing. But this should give you an idea of what you want for your kind of like end game or when you get to the end. Preferably so you'd be able to get the 2-set bonus as well if you're worried about PvP. This would help out a bunch, but my Zash is pretty tanky the way she is. I'll go ahead and beef her up a little though. And then let's go ahead and take a look at Bunny or Yama. Where is he? She, where is she? Oh, there she is. Wow, couldn't find her at all. So I got Fortune Cat on, I love how I made this video about leveling about giving supports love, and none of my souls are maxed. Oh god, it's so easy to forget about these guys because I don't use Bunny in PvP anymore or PvE, so that's why. Okay, I almost forgot. I don't use Yama anymore in PvE or PvP. So the reason why I have her sold is because I use her very rarely for S10. Some of the people I run with don't have enough speed on their DPS to go with a 25. So I use Maki instead. So let's go ahead and take a look at Maki. This is essentially my Yama. Basically, same exact thing. You're gonna want, well, for Maki, you're gonna want HP because her heals are based off HP. But speed, HP. If this was Yama, it would be speed, defense. For substats, you're gonna want speed as well. It's really important for your accelerators to be as fast as possible. And then prioritizing leveling your speed first, followed by your 2 defensive percent stats, followed by your 2 flat defensive stats, followed by your attack if you really want to try and roll the substats. Reason I don't use Yama anymore is because she essentially does the same exact thing, with the only difference being that her skill only increases your move bar by 25%. Now, some of the people I run with don't have enough speed on their DPS, and that 25% isn't enough to get them to move in before the PvE monsters that we play against. And for that, I have my Yama leveled. Now, leveling them all to +9 is enough, but keep in mind these are grade 6 souls, so if you're grade 5 or lower, might not be enough. Now, you really want them to be able to survive the first wave of souls. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a souls with you guys real fast. Hey, welcome back. Let's jump into an S10. Let me go ahead and show you guys why having your supports and Zash speed tuned and nice and beefy is going to help you guys out tons. Now, this works on all stages. This is what your S10 runs should look like. I don't really have an appropriate DPS for this third slot. You would want another AoE. So if you can get 2 Otengus and a Yoto, that would be great. For this video, just for the sake of it, let's go ahead and put Fish Lord in there. So the speed order is going to go Bunny, followed by my first DPS, which should be Otengu, followed by Zash, and the other 2. Now if Zash goes after one of the other 2, it's fine as long as she feeds orbs to Yotohime. Alright, so just go ahead and while this runs, take a look on the right hand side, just to give you an idea of why having your Bunny go first is important. A lot of these guys would have gone first and killed me by now, but Having your bunny be a little faster isn't that big of a deal. We're just going to skip ahead to the final stage real fast. Also, the fact that my Zash is going in between my DPS makes sure that my Fish Lord guy has enough orbs to deal his skills, along with Yoto as well. Alright, let's go ahead and stop here for or turn off manual for the last one. So this is where it's important. If my bunny wasn't fast enough, the 2 Tengos would have cleared out my entire team by now. So, and this is the case for all stages. If you don't go first, this final boss is going to kill you. So you speed up your team, and then your first DPS is going to go first. Well, your semi. Keep in mind, all of my characters who deal DPS are under 127, or 128 I mean, so that they can get the 30% damage buff from having my totem maxed. So I'll go ahead and use your first DPS skill. Oops. Let's use it on this guy for the sake of it. So if my Zash wasn't the correct speed, I wouldn't have enough orbs for my Yoto. I do somehow this time, but generally speaking, oh, because of the passive. But if she wasn't the right speed, my Yoto wouldn't have enough orbs to use her skill, and we would probably wipe on the stage. So then go ahead and... oh crap, I hope they don't clear it. No? Okay. Dang, I didn't mean to kill it. Now, if I didn't kill it right there, he would have done an AoE attack, and that's the point where your bunny and your Zash need to try and stay alive. Now, if your Zash dies, it's not the biggest of deals, because probably you'll be able to kill it on the second round, or the second part of the fight. But if your bunny dies, then it can go first, and if it goes first, it can easily clear out 2 of your DPS, and then you're most likely not going to be able to clear it. Hopefully this was helpful. Don't forget to leave down some comments in the section below. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know if this helped. Let me know where you're at. And as always, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in game.